Today I'd like to talk a little bit about my random section and, well, the struggle I have to keep things random. I don't know. I started this spread because I wanted to illustrate the constant tug of war between structure and chaos. And this is not chaos, and this is just ugly, and so is this. So it felt like the perfect illustration of imperfection. I mean, my whole system is designed so that I can be both messy and structured when I need to. So the time-specific section is really structured and it's the same layout day after day, no extraneous information at all, and the project section is similar, same kind of headings all the time, you know, capital letters, underlined but not very big letters, and then, you know, start 2 rows of boxes underneath and write the thing. But the random section is random, obviously, and this doesn't seem like a problem, does it? But it sort of becomes a problem when I actually do write things that pop into my mind, like this spread, for example. I get ideas for my world building, and then it's like, okay, I wrote it on my journaling spread, but it's supposed to go in, you know, the world building section at the back here. And I don't know, I mean, I didn't have this problem for so long because I was in rings. I planned in rings and just moved things around, and it was not a problem. But then I fell into the bullet journaling hole in 2017, and I just fell in love with the idea of spreads and, you know, the decorations and art and all those things, creative journaling. And since then, I've been trying to solve the conundrum of wanting sections and order at the same time that I permit myself to be totally random and just jot down ideas as I get them. So the structure of the whole journal, with the time-specific section, the random section, and the project section, is my attempt to basically keep my binder of those carefree days from before. But the thing is, there's no limit to how granular your sectioning can be. Because if I have a world building section here, well, then I have, like I've written here, random ass ideas, which doesn't sound very good with a British accent, I don't know. But, you know, then it's a list of random ideas. It's all to do with world building, but perhaps I want to, you know, section this off as well, because this is about the Hanar in the north and their wind worship. And this is about, well, he's from the north, but it's about Algessi. He's a very specific person. He needs his own section. And these are names, okay. I could have a name section, like in a series Bible. These are the name ideas I have. Blah, 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 blah. A lemon tree, you know, it's just... When I write things down, I enjoy being messy. I enjoy just turning to the next blank page like you do in a bullet journal and just vomiting words on the page. But then after that, I want to structure things, and that's what I wanted to do with this spread. You know, illustrate the explosion of ideas here and the sorting into a structure here, and it's just, I failed. But that's part of it somehow, failing and being upset with things And I really don't know how to solve this. I wish there was a book with a magnet in the spine, and every page had a magnet on, you know, here. So you could take them out and just... And I know people use rings, they use strings, they use discs, but it doesn't work. I've tried them all. And I don't know. It's like I want to use a notebook like a notebook and then cut everything out and rearrange it. And I want to bind the book again, but then I've destroyed it, so I can't. So sometimes I end up gluing pages to other pages in another book. I mean, is there a solution to this? This isn't what I wanted to talk about, by the way. In this video, I was going to talk about allowing yourself to be messy and random in your journaling, and, you know, putting a recipe for carrot cake muffins and journaling about tarot cards, and then jotting down the lyrics to a song you wrote when you were 13 and painting a wind from your fantasy world. And it doesn't matter, but it does matter. It does, because not when I'm journaling. I mean, my journal can be very jumbled, and as long as it's just documentation, memory keeping, that's fine. But as soon as I get ideas that I actually want to use for something, then it gets hairy. And I don't like using an index. I just don't. It's not for me. And having tabs on every single page with world building on it, I mean, I have done that before. Let's see, is it this one? Where all the faint purple tabs mean that there's something to do with my fantasy world there. So this is a character, and this is a character. And what else have we got? Here I've written about a character, and she's there. And more about her, and a beautiful page, because this is not beautiful. But, and I mean, I do like this book. I like having this chunky tome filled with goodies, but at the same time, I mean, I always go through this cycle now and then where I think, you know, maybe I should cut out these pages and put them all in, for example, one of these, an A4 book. So I started painting backgrounds so I could, you know, glue pages like this in and have it all collected in one single book, so I could just leaf through and it was all the same. You know, the theme is the same, or the just... But then, you know, I would ruin this, because on the back here I've got journaling, and on the back here I've got journaling as well. And it just, you know, I don't want... This is a fun memory, you know, watching bats, and I don't want to ruin that by cutting out this page. Okay, so I can photograph it and keep it in my computer, or photograph it and print it and put it in another book, which is maybe the best solution. I don't know, but it feels kind of wasteful as well to print things that already exist in the world, you know. So, I don't know. This is cry for help. Yeah, as I said, this wasn't what I planned to talk about. But, yeah, I mean, of course I can rewrite when I get ideas, like this section here is an idea for my fantasy world. And she turned out to be maybe a character. But this is just journaling about tarot cards And this is just a, you know, phrase, a motto or something. Don't let the head bugs bite. And it is kind of related to the tarot journaling because it was 9 of Swords. So don't let the head bugs bite. Never mind. Oh my god, this is so rambly. But that's kind of the point as well. How rambly and messy and jumbled can you be? And how do you live with yourself when you have, you know, cycles, periods in your life when you want to be more structured and you want to take those good ideas that you had when you were messy and put them in a structure. And I do tend to write those things in a computer document because there's nothing more structured than that, and you can move things around and have headings and format the headings. But it's just, I like the tactile aspect of a book, and I would like the book to be magical, so I could just tell it to arrange itself like an Excel document, you know. Now I want everything to do with memories to be in one section, and now I want all the quotes to be in one section. And I mean, this is the whole point of like the bullet journal thing, to fill up a notebook with random things and not start a new notebook for each idea you have, you know, like, oh, this one is for songs, and this one is for poems, and this one is for quotes. I mean, I started, where is it? The little sucker. I started this book for quotes when I was 16. And obsessed with Shakespeare. And I am now 45. And this is how far I've got. And I do still put quotes in it, so I haven't abandoned it. But I tend to forget about it because it lies on its own somewhere waiting for a quote. And I mean, nowadays my quotes go into my journal where I keep everything. So there is really a very good point to having everything in the same book, because it's always with you. It's easy, you fill it up, it's like a companion or an external hard drive for your brain, where you can just put everything that means something to you. And it is fun to look back on. You know, at this point in my life, I was, well, into Ghost, obviously, and into tarot cards, a new deck that I got for Christmas. Then I was trying to learn by journaling about it. Where is it? Where is it? Here. And I mean, I love looking back on those pages, because I do like the messiness of it and the randomness, and that there is something new on each page. Like here I just randomly painted a little lemon tree that we have bought, and you know, instead of just doing another one of my usual faces, I drew this instead, and it becomes a memory, because this plant will die, because that's what we do, we kill plants, and then I'll have a memory of when we had a lemon tree before we killed it. And I do enjoy that, but I wish there was a way of, you know, reorganizing everything so you got everything to do with one thing in the same book. But it's impossible. You need magic for it. And guess what? I'm going to use that idea in my fantasy world. They will have magical books that can rearrange themselves according to context, according to whatever, you know, categorization you want at the moment. So there.